What's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel where we settle the greatest anime debates of all time. Today, we're diving into a colossal clash of titans, a battle that fans have been dreaming of for decades. In one corner, we have the substitute Shinigami with the heart of a protector Ichigo Kurosaki from Bleach. And in the other corner, the street-smart punk turned spirit detective Yusuke Urameshi from Yu Yu Hakusho. Both are teenage heroes with immense spiritual power. Both fight to protect their friends, and both have some of the most iconic transformations in anime history. But if these two legends were to throw down, who would walk away victorious? Let's break it down, analyze their powers, and find out once and for all. First up, let's talk about our favorite orange-haired soul reaper, Ichigo Kurosaki. Ichigo's journey is one of constant evolution. He starts as a regular high school student who can see ghosts, but after a fateful encounter with Rukia Kochiki, he awakens his own latent Shinigami powers. His primary weapon is his Zanpakuto Zengetsu, which isn't just a sword, it's a manifestation of his soul. In its Shikai form, it's a massive blade, and its signature move is the Getsuga Tensho, a devastating wave of concentrated spirit energy. But that's just the beginning. Ichigo's power is a complex cocktail of Shinigami, Quincy, and Hollow abilities. This unique heritage gives him access to an incredible range of powers. When he achieves his Bankai, Tensa Zangetsu, his appearance changes dramatically. His sword becomes a sleek black dado, and his speed and power are amplified to an insane degree. In this state, he moves so fast that he can create afterimages and overwhelm even the most seasoned captains of the Gotei 13. His Getsuga Tensho also becomes the Kuroi Getsuga, a black, more destructive version of the attack. But wait, there's more. Ichigo's inner hollow is a source of immense instinctual power. When he's pushed to the brink, his Vasto Lord form can emerge. This is a terrifying transformation where Ichigo becomes a full-fledged hollow, driven purely by the desire to win and protect. This form is monstrously strong, capable of firing Cyril blasts that can dwarf Las Noches itself. We saw him utterly dominate Okuyura's second form with this power, showcasing a level of raw destructive force that is almost unmatched. And we can't forget his Quincy side, which grants him access to Blut Veen, an advanced defensive technique that hardens his skin by pumping spiritual energy directly into his blood vessels. This makes him incredibly durable. By the end of the series, in the 1000-year Blood War arc, Ichigo learns to harmonize all his powers. His true Shikai form wields two blades representing his dual heritage, and his final Bankai combines them, granting him a level of power that allowed him to clash with Watch, a being who was essentially a god. Ichigo's strength is his incredible growth potential, and the sheer explosive power he can unleash when everything is on the line. He's a powerhouse of speed, strength, and raw energy. Now, let's turn our attention to the original spirit-powered delinquent, Yusuke Urameshi. Yusuke's story starts with him dying to save a child, a selfless act that gets him a second chance at life as a spirit detective for the spirit world. Trained by the legendary Genkai, Yusuke's primary weapon is his fists and his signature technique, the spirit gun. By focusing his spirit energy into his fingertip, he can fire a projectile of pure energy. Initially, he could only fire it once a day, but through grueling training, he learns to fire multiple shots and increase its power exponentially. Yusuke is a brawler at heart. His fighting style is direct, brutal, and incredibly effective. He's not just about raw power. He's tough as nails and has an unbreakable will. He can take an unbelievable amount of punishment and just keep getting back up, more determined than ever. Remember his fight with Toguro? That was a masterclass in endurance and sheer grit. Beyond the spirit gun, Yusuke also develops the spirit shotgun, which fires a spray of smaller energy blasts, perfect for dealing with multiple enemies or overwhelming a single opponent. But Yusuke's true power awakens during the chapter Black Saga. We learn that he is a descendant of the demon king Raisin, one of the three most powerful rulers of the demon world. This heritage unlocks his Mizoku form. When this happens, long white hair flows, demonic markings appear on his body, and his spirit energy skyrockets to S-class levels, placing him among the strongest beings in existence. In this state, his spirit gun becomes the demon gun, a blast so powerful it can obliterate mountains and change the landscape. His physical strength and speed also reach terrifying new heights. allowing him to fight on par with demons who have been honing their skills for thousands of years. Unlike Ichigo's varied power set, Yusuke's strength is more focused. It's about overwhelming force and relentless pressure. He doesn't have swords or complex techniques like Kido. He has his fists, his spirit energy, and a will that simply refuses to be broken. His greatest asset is his ability to push past his limits time and time again. Every time he's knocked down, he comes back stronger, smarter, and angrier. This adaptability and raw fighting spirit make him an incredibly dangerous opponent for anyone. So the stage is set. Let's imagine the fight. Ichigo and Yusuke face off. The battle would likely start with both of them testing each other out in their base forms. Yusuke would be throwing powerful punches and firing off spirit guns, while Ichigo would counter with his massive Shikai and Getsuga Tenshos. In terms of pure swordsmanship versus hand-to-hand combat, Ichigo has the reach advantage, but Yusuke's brawling style is unpredictable and relentless. This initial phase would be a spectacle of speed and power, with both fighters being surprisingly well matched. As the fight intensifies, they would both start tapping into their higher forms. Ichigo would unleash his Bankai Tensa Zangetsu. His speed would become a massive problem for Yusuke. He'd be blitzing around, launching a barrage of Kira Getsugas. Yusuke would be forced on the defensive, using his incredible durability and battle instincts to survive the onslaught. He'd be firing back with more powerful spirit guns, trying to tag the ridiculously fast Shinigami. This is where Yusuke's toughness shines. He can take a beating that would put most fighters down for good. But Ichigo is relentless. Seeing that his Bankai isn't enough to secure a quick victory, the pressure could cause his hollow powers to surface. If his Vasto Lord form emerges, the entire dynamic of the fight changes. This is raw, unrestrained power. The sheer destructive force of his Zeros would be something Yusuke has never faced before. Even against Sensui, Yusuke wasn't dealing with this level of explosive energy. Yusuke would have to dig deep, pushing his own spirit energy to its absolute max just to defend against the onslaught. This is the turning point. Pushed to the absolute edge by the monstrous Hollow Ichigo, Yusuke's own demonic heritage would awaken. He would transform into his Mizoku form. Now the tables turn again. We have Mizoku Yusuke versus Vasto Lord Ichigo. This is a clash of true monsters. Yusuke's Demon Gun versus Ichigo's Zero. The power output from both sides would be cataclysmic. At this stage, it's less about technique and more about who has the bigger gas tank and the stronger will to win. So, who takes it? This is incredibly close, but I have to lean towards Ichigo Kurosaki for the win. Here's why. While Mizoku Yusuke is unbelievably powerful, likely on par with Vasto Lord Ichigo in raw destructive output, Ichigo has one more ace up his sleeve. His final, true power from the 1,000-year Blood War arc. If the fight pushes past their Vasto Lord and Mizoku states, Ichigo can access his true Shikai and his final Bankai. This form is a complete harmonization of all his powers Shinigami, Hollow, and Quincy. The level of power he demonstrated against Watch, even a weakened Watch, puts him on a tier that is hard to quantify, but is arguably beyond what we see from Yusuke. This version of Ichigo combines the insane speed of his Bankai, the raw power of his Hollow, and the defensive capabilities of his Quincy blood, all perfectly balanced. While Yusuke's S-class demon power is immense, Ichigo's final form represents a multi-layered power system that gives him more options and a higher ultimate ceiling. Yusuke's greatest strength is his raw power and grit, but Ichigo's final form is a fusion of different types of spiritual energy that, when combined, create something greater than the sum of its parts. It would be a brutal, world-shattering battle, but that final evolution gives Ichigo the edge he needs to claim victory. But what do you guys think? Did I get it right? Is Yusuke's unbreakable spirit enough to overcome Ichigo's final form? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. This was one of the toughest matchups to call, and I'm sure there are great arguments for both sides. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next epic anime battle. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.